This week on Steam is unusually varied for strategy and simulation fans. A sci-fi RTS, water park and mall management, hands-on shopkeeping, survival crafting, and even gladiator management. Dates can still move, but from July 20th to 26th. These are the releases that look most relevant for players who enjoy systems, planning, and messy little economies. ZeroSpace is the biggest pure strategy name in this lineup. It is a sci-fi RTS with campaign RPG elements, so the appeal is not just watching units fight, but making decisions inside a larger war. The game leans into fleets, commanders, top-down battles, and large groups of units colliding across alien terrain. For this channel, that matters because it gives the week a real strategy anchor, army control, battlefield pressure, and campaign context instead of only cozy management loops. If you want one game here that feels closest to classic RTS territory, ZeroSpace is the one to watch first. Dirty Business goes in a very different direction. A first-person production and base management sim built around an underground criminal operation. The subject matter is darker, but the structure is familiar if you like systems games. You build rooms, run stations, produce illegal goods, print fake money, craft weapons, hire workers, and expand the base into something more efficient and more dangerous. It is not cozy, obviously, but it does have that production chain appeal where every machine and worker becomes part of a bigger operation. As a video pick, it adds strong contrast after the RTS opener. Aquapark Tycoon is the cleanest Tycoon entry of the week. The core is easy to understand. Design pools, build water slides, place attractions, manage guest needs, and slowly turn open space into a busy park. What makes it useful for strategy and sim players is the mix of creative layout and practical management. A good water park is not just pretty. It needs flow, services, capacity, and attractions that actually work together. This is also one of the best visual picks for the video, because the construction tools and crowded park shots communicate the loop immediately. Boba Cafe Simulator is smaller in scale, but much more hands-on. Instead of planning a city or a park, you are running the counter, making drinks, using equipment, serving customers, changing the shop, and balancing prices and delivery platforms. The interesting part is how tactile the routine looks. You are not just clicking a profit graph. You are building the business through repeated service decisions. For viewers who enjoy shopkeeper sims, this one adds a lighter management rhythm to the week. With enough production flow, still feel relevant beside the bigger Tycoon games. Bookbinding is the strangest entry in the list, and that is part of the appeal. On the surface, it is a cozy crafting sim about designing book covers with colors, patterns, and decorative pieces. Underneath that, there is a darker story involving secrets, tarot cards, customers, and choices about what should stay hidden. This is not the most systems-heavy release here, but it brings a different kind of decision-making, slower, moodier, and more personal. I would treat it as the niche pick of the week, especially for players who like craft interfaces with a story attached. Before we open the next shop, like the video, subscribe to the Strategy Player, and tell me in the comments which release has your attention. Mall Together is one of the strongest management picks because the pitch is instantly readable. Run a mall, open stores, sign contracts, hire workers, handle online orders, collect earnings, and do it solo or with friends. The first-person view makes the business feel physical, while the systems still revolve around growth and organization. What I like for the channel is the chain from small shop tasks to larger mall planning. If the management layer has enough depth, this could be a very watchable co-op tycoon, especially for players who enjoy business sims with visible day-to-day work. Island Beekeeper is a softer survival crafting entry built around bees, floating islands, tools, and a home in the sky. The loop appears to be about exploring, gathering, building an apiary, improving the home base, growing plants, and working with bee traits over time. That makes it less of a pure strategy game, but still relevant if you enjoy resource loops and long-term optimization. It also gives the week a calmer atmosphere after the mall and production sims. This is the kind of game where the question is not speed, but how satisfying the slow progression becomes. ExoTrain is the survival train base pick from the provided list. The premise is compact but clear. Your train is the base, the planet is hostile, and progression comes from exploring, fighting wildlife, upgrading gear, and improving the moving platform that keeps you alive. It is not a railway management game in the traditional sense. It is closer to survival crafting with a mobile headquarters. That still gives the video useful variety, because it adds combat, exploration, and base building to a week otherwise dominated by Tycoon and Job Sim releases. Nothing to Declare is a lighter job simulator about airport security. The repeated loop is checking passengers, reading documents, inspecting luggage, asking questions, and deciding whether something is suspicious. It has a much brighter tone than the usual paperwork inspection game, but the appeal is similar: small details, quick decisions, and the satisfaction of catching mistakes before they pass through. For this channel, I would frame it as a casual systems pick rather than a deep management sim. It may work best for viewers who enjoy structured tasks and short, readable decisions. Ludus Magnatus brings the week back toward management, but with a sharper historical theme. You are running a gladiator club in an alternate ancient Rome, recruiting fighters, equipping them from the market, climbing divisions, and sending them into arena fights. The important part is the preparation, roster choices, gear, progression, and how much control the player has before combat begins. It has more action on screen than most management sims, but the long-term hook is still about building a stronger organization. For viewers who like team management with consequences, this is worth watching. That is the July 20th to 26th release list. Which would you try first? The RTS, the water park, the mall, or the train-based survival game? If you enjoy strategy, simulation, and systems-heavy PC games, subscribe to the Strategy Player.